Dragon Ball, one of the most popular animes in the world. This anime is known for one main thing, the fights. In this video, I will be ranking every single fight in Dragon Ball Super, from the worst of the worst to the absolute most peak fights in anime. Let's hop into it. Also have a Discord, check it out, link in the description. I'm convinced this whole episode was supposed to be filler and they accidentally called it canon. Otama literally loses 2 fights prior because he's cocky, and then in the 3rd fight, what does he do? Not learn his lesson and the exact same thing and loses. Who wouldn't want to watch the fodder Z Fighters fight a CGI minion army? I swear to God, they did everything in their power to make Goku look as stupid as possible. For our first fight in the Tournament of Power, we have Fodder 1 versus Fodder 2. In 103rd place, we have Piccolo fighting his Schizo Demons. This dude's plan was to literally AFK and take the hits and just hope they get tired. Universe 7 was fighting an Invisible Man, and I swear to God, they literally made this fight just to save budget by only having to animate one side of the fight.
Listen up, 18! You're fighting someone that's invisible!
Yeah, I noticed, Krillin!
I'm gonna be honest, for this one, I don't even know if I consider this a fight, but, you know, why not? Oh my God, it's Tien! Yeah, I didn't watch the original Dragon Ball, so I literally don't give a fuck about Tien. That shit was so boring. But I gotta give props to this random bird. It actually tried to fly at all of Team 7 by himself. Dude had balls of steel. Yo, I'm not even trying to be mean when I say this, but I was trying real hard not to fall asleep watching this. This fight was boring and unimportant, and it involved characters no one cares about. I don't think anyone cared to watch Goku versus the most Walmart Frieza you've ever seen in your life. This fight did get a slight chuckle out of me watching Vegeta try to use Ultra Instinct, but other than that, it was eh. I mean, it's decent, I guess, but I feel like after watching his dad use it so much, I feel like Gon should have dealt with instant transmission better.
Hey, Goku Jr., is that really the best you've got?
This wasn't really much of a fight, but it was pretty badass seeing Jiren just absolutely rape this thing. We got to see Roshi deal with the Illusionist. It would have maybe caused the other characters issues, but it was cool seeing Roshi use his intelligence to get a dub. You know, for 3 gods of destruction, the fight was kind of underwhelming. I mean, it was cool, I guess, seeing them team up, but meh. Who wouldn't want to watch Goku and Vegeta fight a whole bunch of shitty animated clones? I mean, as fun as it was watching Frieza get absolutely molested by Toppo, a lot of this fight was just 17 scurrying around. I'm gonna say something controversial, but I don't give a fuck about Kaba. I actually kind of enjoyed this fight just because I like seeing Krillin and 18 work together. I know a lot of my Goku Black placements are gonna piss people off, but a lot of this arc had pretty mid fights. Now, this one may come as a shock to a lot of people, but when Goku and Frieza fought in the blue and gold forms, this was not a good fight, dude. There was a lot of CGI, little to no music, and then Goku gets taken out by a normal gun. It was just, ugh. Seeing Goku punching the ground to launch the bug in the air was pretty fucking funny to watch. Gohan versus Obni was a pretty decent fight, but nothing really too special about it.
Why did you have to do that? They were getting ready to transform and then you had to ruin it.
Yeah, so?
You can't just interrupt us in the middle of it!
Yes, that's right. When a warrior strikes a pose, that's justice. You, sir, violated the code.
That's true.
Rabian versus Vegeta in the start of it actually had some pretty good animation, I can't even lie. We also get to see a glimpse of Vegeta's Ultra Instinct. This wasn't really much of a fight, but it did make me giggle to see Vegeta tying him up. For our first decent fight, we see 17 and Toppo fighting. They're in a beam struggle, and then Frieza comes behind him and starts hitting some nasty shots. This fight was kind of hard to watch because Frieza was just tormenting the poor fat guy. Dude, my guy Frieza was laying down the pipe. It was so unnecessary. I can't lie, it was pretty satisfying seeing Vegeta one-tap Frost. This fight looked decent, but it was over before it even started, to be honest. When Goku and Frieza initially fought before transforming, the fight honestly, to me, was better than when they did transform. Bro, she's literally just a Walmart Broly. But I will admit, watching her walk through the Kamehameha was pretty fucking badass. I mean, watching Black eat a sniper bullet was kind of cool, but this fight itself was just kind of eh. The first time Goku and Black fought, the fight itself was kind of eh. But it's also kind of annoying because this guy's terrorizing Trunks' future, and if Goku just went all out from the start, like, there'd be no risk of anyone dying. I actually enjoyed this fight. It was definitely very different to a normal fight. Seeing Vegeta power up to break the glass was pretty cool. Overall, decent. This fight was actually quite fun to watch. Any fight with Frieza is usually quite entertaining. Yu Zamasu versus Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks was decent. I want to be honest, a lot of the Goku Black arc is just eh. Except for some good ones we'll see later on. This fight was super short, so that's why I put it down here, but I actually really fuck with this fight. Seeing Goku go all out just to get absolutely bodied was fucking hilarious. When Goku first did his little fighting match versus Zamasu, this fight was so badass for one reason. I forgot his fucking name. The old dude was like, just remember, pull your punches. And Goku's like, don't pull your punches. And Beerus is like, yeah, don't pull your punches. And the dude's like, why? He's like, are you crazy? And he's like, if you do, you'll die. In our 64th spot, we have Trunks beating Zamasu. This fight would be a lot higher ranked, but the ending of this arc was so bad. The whole point of this arc was that mortals can beat gods, but then they need a god to win. It was just the worst writing choice in the end I ever saw in my life. Frieza versus the Yardrat guy was very satisfying. Frieza's Nemesis Goku, that's one of his main techniques. Of course, Frieza knows how to hard counter it, and also watching Frieza fucking torture the guy was like, oh my god, bro. He's like, there's no rule against killing, but I'm gonna torture the shit out of him. Watching Krillin throw his fucking shoe at someone was hilarious. This fight was definitely decent and much needed. It was a fight to basically get Gohan's fighting spirit back. He definitely needed it after not fighting for so long since he was so rusty. Goku had hired Hit on himself to really test his abilities. This fight was cool seeing Goku use different techniques, but I don't know, just something about it, just eh. This fight was actually pretty funny. Once Roshi was able to snap out of it, the way she just jumped off the ring to avoid being touched by him was fucking so hilarious. The first training match between Gohan, Piccolo, Goku, and Tien. This fight was pretty fun to watch, although I really feel bad for Tien. My boy was getting absolutely violated. He should not have been there. This fight was pretty creative and fun to watch, but I don't know, something about Gohan and Dispo, they're both like tier 2 characters in my eyes, at least at this point in the story. I know Gohan becomes a beast later on, but for now, he's like, eh. This fight was definitely interesting. Seeing Frost reverse the Mafuba was definitely something I didn't expect. When Vegeta got sealed, I'm like, oh damn, that's not good. And then Roshi, the goat he is, does that little flick with his fingers to unleash Vegeta. And then Vegeta coming out and going blue is just badass as hell. Monaka one-tapping hit. I mean, do I even need to say anything else? Watching Vegeta get absolutely ragdolled in Super Saiyan Blue was unexpected as hell. But the reason why I put this fight so high is this line from Vegeta is the exact same line I have whenever someone's better than me in CSGO.
What the hell is going on? Is he cheating too?
I know this might piss people off, but Vegeta versus Fused Zamasu. Yes, I know seeing Vegeta is always badass. I cannot deny that. The problem is two things. One, this fight was over before it even started. And two, they made this like weird retcon to the Potars where it's like if they use too much power, they'll defuse. They were only fused for like 2 minutes. Now, I know a lot of people really enjoyed this fight just for the sole reason that Ribrianne was eliminated because I know the community hates her. The reason I'm putting it this high though is because she actually had a really funny line.
Knock her block off!
Hold on, is that guy your husband?
So what if he is?
He's not handsome at all.
Frieza knocking out Frost was very satisfying. Frost thought he was all that in a bag of chips, and Frieza was like, let me show this guy who the real OG is. And for our 50th place spot, we have Goku versus Trunks, their training match. This match was pretty satisfying, just watching Goku flop his cock on the table and just flex on Trunks how much better he is. And our next place, we have Goku and Vegeta farming the entire 9th universe in the Tournament of Power. The entire 9th universe thought they were hot shit, so they tried to target Goku off the start, and that ended extremely poorly for them. Also, Frieza was literally torturing one of them, and they jumped out of the ring to escape it. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan versus the triple robot from Universe 3 was a very fun fight, I cannot lie. Goku and Vegeta were pushing back the big robot, and while they were doing that, Gohan was charging up a massive Kamehameha. Gohan's beam struggle versus the robot was hype as fuck. I'll give it to Vegeta. That's my Bulma rage scene versus Beerus was actually pretty fucking badass. Dude, this fight could have been so good if they just gave Vegeta the win. But because it's Dragon Ball Goku time, obviously they had to give Goku the win for some fucked up reason. Goku and Vegeta revert back to their caveman instincts and just start throwing rocks at bro. For our first fight in the Great Tier, we have Piccolo versus Gamma 2 in their rematch. This fight was actually pretty cool, but obviously the reason why this fight was up here is because when Piccolo goes orange, this scene was just badass as hell, and Piccolo just one-tapped the bro. Gohan versus Gamma 1. Pretty fun fight. Got to see Gohan back in action, which is always nice to see, but other than that, it was just pretty good. This 2v2 was pretty fun. The choreography, the fight animation, the music, everything was pretty decent. It just wasn't anything to stand out, so that's why it's right here. Seeing Goku, Vegeta, and 17 versus Broly was a very fun light show. Watching Jiren just absolutely body all 3 of their blasts was pretty badass. Seeing Jiren fly through all of 17's barriers was just like, oh bro, you're so cooked. And then finally, 17 sacrificed. This fight could have been higher, but they just like retconned his death to like not be there. So that was nah. Vegeta training Cabba to become a Super Saiyan was definitely a wholesome moment. It was definitely unexpected seeing Vegeta become like the mentor-student type role with Cabba, but Like I said before, and I'm gonna say again, I don't really give a shit about Kaba.
I'm going to hunt down and murder, one by one, every last member of your family. For them, it won't be quick.
I mean, this wasn't really a fight, but just look how fucking beautiful this animation is. Watching Frieza go on a murder rampage is just always fun. Frieza's one of the best characters in the show, easily. In this fight, we were able to see the full extent of Goku's fighting IQ. The mines, the scurrying, the Destructo Disc almost got Jiren out, just in Super Saiyan Blue. Like, that was pretty impressive. Goku versus Toppo. This was definitely a fun fight. Seeing Goku get the life choked out of him was definitely very scary to watch. In the same Zeno Expo, we got to see Boo versus Basil. This fight was fun just for the stories, and then we got to see Boo fight again after not seeing him fight since Z. And Boo is just a fun-ass character to watch no matter how you spin it. Now this fight I really enjoyed. Seeing Frieza and 17 versus an extremely weakened Jiren. Literally all of them are at like 1 HP. Watching Frieza shit-talk Jiren was always great. And then Jiren steps on Frieza's tail and starts literally just using it as a punching bag. This fight was just fantastic.
I will make it home.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
And your savage players would only win by cheating. You're the savage, brother! I'm sophistication personified!
I bet you didn't expect to see this fight up here. This filler episode was one of the greatest episodes in anime history. Speaking of filler, Vegeta versus Arale. This fight was just funny. Seeing Vegeta mauled that Arale is ignoring the laws of physics, and the fact that the fight just didn't take itself that seriously in the first place is what makes it great.
What's wrong with you, flouting the laws of physics for just a cheap gag? It violates everything!
Okay, mister, now it's my turn.
Listen when I lecture you!
Seeing 17 bead blitz the two love warriors was very satisfying. Now some of you may be wondering why this is so high. I'll be honest, bro. The fight was just fast paced, and I don't know why. I just fuck with 17 heavy, bro. He's just kind of that guy. Okay, this rage transformation was epic. Bro went from weaker to Super Saiyan 3 to being able to keep up with Super Saiyan Blue tier characters. When Goku and Beerus finally got their fight started, this fight was pretty good. It had some bad CGI at some points, but overall a really good fight. And then we also have the iconic line.
I will not let you destroy my world!
Now this one technically might not be a fight, but goddamn, it's one of my favorite clashes in the entire show. This sparring matches was legendary when Trunks was like, Dad, you don't have to hold back. Go Super Saiyan 3 just like Goku. And Vegeta was able to whip his dick out on the table and flex his Super Saiyan Blue. Trunks was nearly shitting himself. This fight wasn't even that good. I just put it up here because it was really funny. Like when Piccolo and Vegeta had to pretend like they were being mind controlled and their acting was so bad, it just made me giggle.
Ah, my arm! No! Monaka's controlling it! Watch out, Goku! No! You're a bad actor, you know that?
This was a great fight for all the Master Roshi fans out there, all the OG Dragon Ball fans. I didn't watch OG Dragon Ball, but I respect Master Roshi way more than Tien. Seeing him give his whole speech and then releasing his final strongest Kamehameha wave was just pretty badass. Seeing Goku fight Kale and Caulifla while they were going through all their forms, Goku was just going up and up and up from extremely tired to God, just destroying them. Watching him just body both of them from this experience alone was pretty cool to see. Watching this legendary tag team was obviously fun, but when I was rewatching this fight, I noticed a line that Goku said that was just so stupidly funny, I just have to show you.
But I've got my own tricks, silly rabbit.
Like, who wrote that line? I don't know why. Who wrote that line?
Prepare for number 17, Vanquisher of the Second, he who smited fair Kakunsa and Rosie.
It is I, number 18, the wicked co-vanquisher. She who doomed the maiden Ribrianne.
And I'm Goku.
Watching Goku 17 and 18 versus the love characters, and then Piccolo and Gohan versus the two Namekians, it was two different fights happening at the same time, and the legendary ending with both the father-son Kamehameha to knock out two different universes at once. Definitely very awesome. The battle of the two titans, Hit versus Jiren. Watching Jiren absolutely just block his final shot with his eyes. At that point, you were like, alright, Hit's cooked. There's also a lot of theories at the time that like that was a clone that Jiren knocked out and the real Hit was still somewhere on the arena. That was just cope. Oh my god, this wasn't even really a fight, but when Vegeta got farmed by Rose for the first time, oh my god, the way he put his hands on Vegeta's throat just in base, Rose's presence was untouchable. He also had some of the coldest lines back to Vegeta after stabbing him straight through the chest. This fight was definitely a spectacular light show, but the reason I put it so high was I was rewatching this fight. I did not realize how stupid Goku was. The Omni Kings literally say that if Bergamo wins this fight, none of the universes in the Tournaments of Power will be erased. You know what Goku says to that?
I'll give this fight all I've got.
What's wrong with him? Does he even know what's happening?
Beerus' line made me laugh so hard when I rewatched that scene. Also, speaking of Rose raping Vegeta, in 18th place, we have Vegeta's Get Back. When Vegeta overpowered Black and was knocking him through all the buildings, giving him his whole speech about how he's a copycat. I know that's a lot of people's favorite Vegeta moment, and I don't blame him. It was pretty badass. This training match between Gohan and Goku was absolutely phenomenal. The way this training match reminisced him and Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber all those years ago, with Gohan being like, listen dad, you can't pull your punches, I need you to come in with full strength. Their fight choreography was great. The final collision with Ultimate Gohan and Blue Kaioken, it was just amazing all around.
You're gonna regret telling me that, Zamasu! And now it's time to
And for our final shot in the great tier, it could have been legendary, but for me it's just a slightly under. It was when Zamasu and Black had Goku pinned up against the wall, and they told him about how they killed his family and took his body. Goku's rage scene, oh my god, we haven't had a good rage scene from Goku in a while, so seeing this was definitely a breath of fresh air for a lot of fans who just love seeing shit like that. He was absolutely no different than Zamasu, and he was just beating the shit out of Black. We have finally made it to the legendary tier. Our first fight in this tier is Vegeta versus Jiren, round 1. Vegeta was able to see through Jiren's attack and actually landed a solid blow. Started pushing Jiren back. He eventually got folded, but before going down, he hits one of the nastiest final flashes in the series. One of my favorite moments in the original Z was Vegeta's final flash versus Cell, so seeing them recreate that move against Jiren was just really great for a lot of fans, I bet. In 14th place, we have Universe 7 versus Anilaza. It's just a very unique fight. After seeing all the normal fights in the Tournament of Power, seeing all of Universe 7 versus like a big kaiju was definitely fun as fuck. The final beam struggle at the end was so hype, and then my boy 17 launches his barrier, goes through the energy ball, and just lands a mean punch to the face. This animation was crazy. My GOAT 17, the finishing move with all of their beams at once, it was just perfect. In 13th place, I didn't really know where to put this one. I put Everyone versus Cell Max. The fight itself was kind of decent. Only two really good parts, honestly, in my opinion, was Gamma 2's dive and then obviously Beast Gohan. But once again, like, it wasn't really much of a fight. Once Gohan turned Beast, it was just one move that just absolutely molested him. But it looked pretty as fuck. Speaking of callbacks, in 12th place, we've God of Destruction Toppo versus Vegeta. In this fight, Toppo was pushing Vegeta back pretty hard. Toppo basically started telling Vegeta that his ideals are worthless. Vegeta's like, that's not the man I am. Throwing away my ideals for power. That was enough motivation to really just push Vegeta to new heights. And then obviously we see his final explosion move, the move he tried to use to kill Boo. That was one of the highest rated episodes in Z, so I know a lot of fans were really happy to see that move come back. Although I bet a lot of fans were really scared of it too.
Now you can finally see my all.
This fight was just pure chaos and pure fun. It starts with one of my favorite power-up scenes in Super, which is Goku and Vegeta both powering up against Jiren. Goku goes Kaioken and Vegeta unlocks Evolution. They start at 2v1 in Jiren, and Whis states that because they never fight with each other, their combos were so uncoordinated and so unsynergized, it actually was working in their favor because it was throwing Jiren off. I also just love the fights when these two work together. We are now in our top 10, folks. In 10th place, we have Goku versus Jiren, part 1. Seeing Goku go through all of his forms against Jiren was just really like when people start getting scared. Bro was Super Saiyan, and Jiren wasn't even moving. The punches just did nothing. Goes into God, bro was only using his fingers. We were like, alright, this guy's just a wall. Goku eventually goes Blue Kaioken, and this was scary for us fans because I've never seen Goku get ragdolled this hard. Bro is in Blue Kaioken times 20, and Jiren was just throwing him around. At this point as a fan, you're like, Goku needs an ass pull because bro is getting absolutely mollywopped.
Bulma, Kappa, I'm sorry. It's up to you, Kakarot. Don't you fail too.
You know, they obviously have to knock Vegeta out for the plot because they hate Vegeta, but I will say Vegeta's final stand versus Jiren in base form was very motivational. Bro had no power, he was getting beat up, and he just kept standing time after time. No matter how many times he got knocked down, bro just kept getting back up. It was overall a very good fight scene. I'm very proud of our boy Vegeta for giving it his all like that. Goku vs. Broly was an amazing fight. Obviously, the Broly movie had peak animation, but seeing Goku get ragdolled around the way he was and him screaming was actually wild. I've never seen him in this much pain. And then his transformation scene into Blue, where they like hinted at Ultra Instinct for that 1 second. I remember when I was in theaters, I saw this movie like the day it came out. When he showed the white hair for a second, I remember everyone was freaking the hell out. This fight was just amazing.
No, it's time.
Goku versus Hit in the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament. After seeing Vegeta get absolutely raped the way he was getting raped by In Blue, we were like, alright, what is Goku going to do? This fight was really good at showing Goku's battle IQ, him learning how to play against his time skip, but obviously that's not why this is up here. We all know why this is up here. Blue Kaioken technique. For longtime fans, they hadn't seen Kaioken in like 20 years. They were like, oh my god, he stacks it on Blue. This was a legendary transformation scene. Hit was getting rocked. Hit was shitting his pants. Overall, this fight was just 10 out of 10. In 6th place, we have Vegeta versus Broly, the first scuffle in the Broly movie. This fight is one of my favorite fights in all of Dragon Ball. The choreography, the animation, it is so buttery smooth. They even managed to make forms like Super Saiyan relevant again. Vegeta's transformation with like the green into yellow, just so cool, so creative. What really makes this fight so good for me, Joe, is just the fight choreography. It's so goddamn good.
Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah. Didn't mean to leave you like that, but I got this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in our top 5. In 5th place, we have Goku, Frieza, and 17 versus Jiren at the end of the Tournament of Power. This fight, all of them are like weak as fuck. All of them are at 1 HP. Goku's in his base forms. They're all fighting. Goku and Frieza fighting together, literally giving Vegeta a stroke. This fight, I know damn well had everyone up in their seats, bro. Everyone watching this, it was breaking the internet. Every episode was just destroying the Crunchyroll servers. The Crunchyroll servers couldn't do anything. I just about stood up and busted when they knocked him out. I was like, let's go! I was fucking cheering. I was jumping. I was doing backflips. It was a fucking monumentous occasion. In 4th place, we have one of my favorite fights in all of Dragon Ball, Goku versus Kefla. When Caulifla and Kale used the Potara earrings to fuse, they formed Kefla. Their speed, their power were just overwhelming the fuck out of a weakened Goku. They finally knock him out, and then Ultra Instinct round 2 comes, them powering up on the rock. Goku's form absolutely dodging every single blow. When he fell off the cliff and he caught himself with his legs, then threw himself backwards to dodge her, then punched her away. That was one of the best choreographed fight scenes I've ever seen. His final Kamehameha, that was quite the crescendo of this fight. She's like, you can't dodge in midair. He's like, bet. Does some backflip in midair, surfs on her energy wave, then does one of the coldest Kamehamehas in the entire series. It was so cold they had to replay it 3 times. This fight was just peak.
Broly, look! It's such a tragedy!
The Broly movie. This movie was absolutely legendary. I saw this movie the day it came out. Some guy at the movie theater literally told me he got a job there just so we could watch the movie early. Gogeta versus Broly was a once-in-a-lifetime fight. The music, the animation was so peak. This is the best Dragon Ball's animation has ever looked, in my opinion. This movie was so fluid, so well animated, so well choreographed. This fight was just everything you could ask in a fight. Perfect music, perfect animation, 2 hype-ass characters going at it. They even made Gogeta canon. There's nothing bad about this fight. It's peak Dragon Ball.
This is Autonomous Ultra Instinct.
This fight starts with one of the meanest gut punches I've ever seen. This fight was pure peak. I can't lie. We got Vegeta's Giga speech to Goku. Goku's on the rock. Barely has any ground, can't move anywhere. Finally dives deeper into his instinct and starts switching to offense. Lands a massive blow on Jiren. And then dude summons like an entire galaxy's worth of energy just to get his body to a mastered Ultra Instinct. Jiren throws this mega beam at him. We're like, oh my god, the climax, what's gonna happen? It cuts, the music cuts, we're like, what happened? We see him behind Jiren. Bro's holding the blast and just whips it away. Oh! Then he just absolutely starts bodying Jiren, like bodying, bro. Like, we see this character who just ragdolled Blue Kaioken times 20, and Goku's just starting to dog on him. All the gods that literally stand in respect. They're all like, this motherfucking mortal is higher than most gods. The choreography in this fight was pure peak. Jiren attacks Goku's friends. One of my favorite scenes in the entire show. When Goku rages into Mastered Ultra Instinct. This animation was so goddamn peak. There was literally watch parties in like Mexico with like 30 to 50,000 people watching this live. There were strip clubs literally offering free lap dances if Goku won in this episode. This was actually peak Dragon Ball. This fight destroyed the internet. I mean, oh, even surprised. No fight comes close to this one. When Goku turns Ultra Instinct for the first time, this destroyed Crunchyroll, destroyed the internet like no other anime has ever done. You gotta understand, when Dragon Ball was airing, the manga was behind it, so literally no one knew this was coming. That's what made it so goddamn good. We see this character get absolutely bodied in Blue Kaioken, and then he gets this new weird silver form with a sick-ass aura. We're like, what is this? And bro just starts molesting everyone. He closes the gap with Jiren that was so wide just a moment ago, and literally all of us fans were just jaw dropped to the floor. This fight means a lot, especially to me, because I never watched anime before this fight. This fight was so big, it destroyed the internet so hard that it just popped up on my YouTube page one day, and I was like, oh, let's see what this is, let's click it. I don't remember anything after that. I just remember being a Dragon Ball fan. I literally went from never watching any Dragon Ball, just seeing a clip of this fight, and then I started following the fight, and I literally started watching Dragon Ball at like 110 on Super. Like, I just learned everything super fast. I learned all about Z. I went back and watched it all later, but this is literally the fight that got me into anime. Without this fight, I don't know if I ever would have even watched anime. I don't even know if I've ever watched Attack on Titan, Blue Lock, all my favorite shows. Like, I owe it to this fight right here. This is one of the greatest fights in all of anime. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You could like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below what your top 5 is, and yeah, follow the Discord, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Dance for us, monkey.